So this is a weather station. It's even got the time on it, the date on it, and tells you what the weather's going to be and the temperature and humidity as well. So if this is something that you need to find out or you like to know, this could be the video for you, baby. So in this video, we are going to do an unboxing, see exactly what you get for your money, honey. But we're also going to be setting her up, see how easy it is to set up, and obviously do some sort of tutorial so you've got an idea how to set it up. So with that, let's get her open, shall we? It says on the side, high accuracy, E-Link display, long battery life. And it's sold by a company called INKBIRD, who sent it to me. Thanks very much, INKBIRD. So what do we have? We have IBS-TH5-WiFi instruction manual, INKBIRD. Right, it's a Q code. So you just need to Q code it, or you can just download it. I want to Q code it, I think. User manual. I'm going to leave that to one side for now. The actual unit itself, let's have a quick look around. It's got a little strip on there. I'm going to take that off. It's coming off anyway. So it's a little rubbery feet for standing it up. That's quite sticky actually, so that's pretty good. I like that. I'm guessing that's an on-off button. And oh, there's an on-off. Off-on. What's that? Centigrade or Fahrenheit? I prefer Fahrenheit. Well, actually, I don't mind nowadays. So you can change it from centigrade or to Fahrenheit. And a little hole for hooking it up onto a wall or something. Yeah, very good. What's that? There's a little rubber thing now on the side. Don't know what that is. Could be an air vent. Could be a speaker for all I know. And a little button on the top. Don't know what that does yet. So that is that. USB in here. Looking at that. So USB to USB Type-C connection, and that's not a bad length, probably about 1 metre, I guess, maybe a little bit less. I'll measure up for you as well. Is to do the strip peeling. And with that, let's do the Q code, see what happens. Get my phone. INKBIRD Download Center. Oh, there you go. Right, so that was only a user manual, and I found it easier to go through the book. So what I've done is I've gone to the App Store and typed in INKBIRD, and it come up with INKBIRD app, which is this one here. Oops. And I've already downloaded it, and I've already set it up. It's quite easy to do. All you have to do is put your details in, you know, email address, things like that, and away you go. And then you will get this come up, like I have now. And that is as far as I've gone. So I've registered, or I've downloaded, and I've registered the app. It will send you an email to confirm your or give you a verification code, which you need to put into this. I know I've already done that as well. So enter home management. I'm going to click on next. So I have no idea what's going on, what to do next. Enter to add a device. Okay. So allow INKBIRD to send you notifications. Yeah, we're going to do that for now. Because we want to see. And we need to add a device. So what's this? Please check your network. Okay. All devices. Do I need to turn her on? Probably do. Let's turn her on. INKBIRD. There she goes. Oh, that looks good. It's establishing a connection. Please wait. Safe level. Okay. It looks quite nice actually. I'll take it as just black and white. Looking at that, I'd say yeah, but I could be totally wrong. Right, we need to add a device, don't we? Confirm, check permissions, confirm. While using the app, yep. INKBIRD find connect, allow. Okay, so we need to find that one, don't we? Crikey, they have a lot of devices, don't they? So we are, it tells you on here, we are the IBS-TH5-WiFi. So give me a second. There it is. That one. Yeah, got her. Next. Oh, right. So you need to connect to your internet, going to have to do this on offline or off the camera. So give me a second. Right, I've logged into my my Wi-Fi, and it says press that button up there. See that? Hopefully you can see it. Press and hold, okay, the top button for 5 seconds to enter pairing mode. Ah, right, it's come up. Entered pairing mode. Please follow the app instruction to operate. Okay. So, oh, look, it's found it. Cool. Now, I have dual band Wi-Fi enabled. I wasn't sure if it would work or not, but it seems to be working fine. The device is connected to the network. Oh, that was easy. And it come up with the right time, I think. What is the time? Oh, it is and all. Right, save. Right, that's it. We are done. That was quite easy, wasn't it? So 23.3 is temperature, humidity 67.5. Right, I'm going to have a little play about it and come back to you within seconds. Right, so I've had a little play about it, and it's about a day later now, so I'm going to go through the display itself and some of the functions on the actual buttons, just in case you need to know, and then I'm going to show you the Q code. Well, actually, I'll show you the Q code now. It's there. It's actually in the book. It's just after halfway. You've got the App Store and Google Play, or you can do what I've done, just do a search on the App Store, whichever one you're going to be using. I did find the instruction book to be very good, nice and clear, nice good images, and it does explain itself very well. Now, moving that out of the way and that out of the way, let's do the buttons. Now, we have that one showing you've got Wi-Fi, so we're connected to the Wi-Fi. That one, I don't know what that one does, but that one's the clock and that one is the date. Hopefully that's obvious. The weather conditions are outside at the moment in your area, so it says partly cloudy. We have a speaker up there. I do believe you can turn it on and off. I've just left it alone. And we had the battery. Get this back up, don't want that going on. We had the battery, and that shows, you know, how much battery you got. Now, it started on 82, and I think it's down to about 70, 78, 76, something like that. So it should last a long time. I haven't charged it up at all. We have a smiley face, that means everything's good. It says safe level, as you can see. And you can adjust the levels, by the way, as well. So we have a temperature, ambient temperature that is, of 24.5 Celsius. That's in this room. Don't forget you can change it to Fahrenheit if you prefer, just by pressing the button on the back. And it shows 76.1. But I'm sticking with centigrade because most people deal with centigrade nowadays. And we have a humidity of 52.9%. And like I said, and that thing there will move if you're going that way or that way. But you can adjust it as well. I believe that's to be a speaker. And yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, I showed you that earlier. But if you want to see the weather for tomorrow, this little button on top, if you just quickly press it, mostly cloudy. So that's what the weather's going to be tomorrow, apparently. So that's very helpful. So yeah, I like it. Nice clear display. There's no colouring, but excellent clear displays. You need something to be crystal clear. Voila. Now let's get to the app. So when you first turn the app on, let's go all the way back. It will come up like that once you set it up, that is. So you click on that because that's the program we're using, and you will get this. So it's showing the temperatures, giving you a graph of the temperature throughout the day, which is perfect. It's showing humidity, and you can click on more. See, and then it does another graph, a bit more in depth. Obviously, we haven't done that much with it. It's only been a day, but it gives you a graph, a nice clear graph. And if you go back, now if you click on the three little dots up the top, these little babies up here, you can adjust things. You can adjust things on the actual app itself. So you can adjust it from centigrade to Fahrenheit. That won't adjust that. That will only adjust the app. That's nice and clear. Tells you the model number. It shows you if you've got any messages, which I haven't. Data upload frequency, that is set for 10 minutes. Comfort level plan. I quite like this actually. Click on that baby and you get this. Now these are presets. let me run through some of the scenarios where you might want to use this. I'm not going to go through every scenario because there's probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of scenarios, but just going to go through some of the basics. So hopefully the home one is obvious, you know, anywhere in the home you need to monitor the temperature or the humidity, anywhere like that. Outdoor, again, something like a greenhouse, or maybe a tent, as it's showing a picture of a tent. Say for instance, you're on holiday somewhere and you need to monitor the temperature or the humidity because you've got a young child with you, or baby in that case. Yeah, and you might need keep an eye on sudden drops of temperature or sudden drops of humidity or increase of humidity. That would be perfect. Baby monitor, like I just said, for outdoors. So if you have it in, say for instance, the baby's bedroom, you might need to keep an eye on that. In your car, you might have a temperature sensor in the car, but it won't do humidity. Again, while you're driving on holiday and suddenly the temperature or the humidity suddenly changes, it could be a good indication for you to say, look, we need to open the windows, or no, we need to shut the windows. Pharmacy, you might think, well, why does a pharmacy need to keep an eye on its humidity and its temperature? Again, it has lots of drugs about, so you need to keep an eye on sudden changes in temperature, humidity, anything like that. Closet. Now, closet, I would think, is more a question of keeping an eye on humidity rather than temperature, in my opinion, that is, because you want to keep your clothes nice and fresh at all times. You might be one of those people who need to make sure your clothes stay nice and fresh all the time. Perfect. Now, this would be one of my favourites. I would probably use that if I didn't have a fridge. My wine goes in a fridge, but if you have a wine cabinet and it doesn't have any sort of temperature control on it, again, something to be able to keep an eye on it, so you can find out what the temperature is, whether you need it to be room temperature for, say for instance, your red wine, or whether you need it to be nice and cool, say for instance, white wine. Perfect. Now, pets. We all love pets, don't we? Or most of us do anyway. So you need to keep an eye on the temperature, humidity for your pets, so they're in a nice, comfortable environment. You love your dog, your cat, whatever, and you might be out and about and suddenly the temperature might change. You know, it might get extremely hot and you might think, oh, I need to get home. I need to open some windows to let some cool air in or warm air, depending on the scenario. And last one on here, fruit storage. Now, if you have it so it's too warm in the house, your fruit, you know, whether you've got it sitting on a kitchen table or in the living room, say for instance some apples, some oranges. Now, if it gets too warm, it could make them go bad. So again, perfect. Like I said, I just wanted to run over some scenarios, and I've just gone over the basic ones of these scenarios rather than custom ones. And we have a smiling face. Yeah, custom, so you can set your own up. Again, something very easy to do. You just click on it, set in your temperatures, confirm it. We're just going to leave it alone because I don't want to play about with it. And then once you set your temperatures, you just save. Or humidity as well, if you want to do humidity. Humidity? Yeah, if you want to do that, you can set that as well. Yeah, very easy to do. What else do we have on here? Message center, data, blah, 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 comfort level, alarms. Now, you can set it to do alarm on temperature or humidity. So it will sound out an alarm and send you a message saying, right, it's gone beyond the temperature. Say, for instance, you don't want to go above, I don't know, say 30 Celsius. Yeah? So you type in 30, confirm it, save it, job done. So once it goes above, it will send you a message. Or if you don't want it to go below, say 0. Say for instance, you want to set it, I don't know, I don't want it to go no colder than 10 Celsius. Job done. That's really easy to do. Now, if you don't want these on, you just do that. They will be off at default anyway, but they will look like that. So you just click on that and it turns it back on again. Very easy. Yeah, I found it very easy to use. A buzzer switch turns the buzzer off or on. Calibration values. So you can do a calibration 0. This is it for 0, 0. I'm going to leave that alone. And you have more settings. So delete data, user, using help and device information. No point in going in them. And also, if you want to reset it, remote device. So basically, if you want to delete that from that, you can do it through there. Or you can just hold that button in for more than 5 seconds and it will reset it anyway. It won't connect. And I think that's about it. What's this? To immediately synchronize relevant parameters, please press the top button. Okay. Quickly. Not going to do that anyway. Yeah, I think we covered everything. Yeah, oh, didn't scroll down, did I? So there are a few more things, but like I said, the only one I don't know is that one up there. I think, what's that for? I've seen it in the book, but I couldn't see any writing about it. So let me know in the comments what you think. I'm wondering if it's just saying it's connected to the app. That's my theory anyway. Yeah, apart from that, I found it very easy to use. I found the instructions were very good, nice and clear and easy to understand. And what I did at the beginning think, when I first looked at it, and I'll see that first Q code, which is, I don't know, back here somewhere. You ain't going to be able to find it now, are you? It's always the way, isn't it? Wherever I go, oh, on here. Yeah, when I first found it, I thought, but that is only for the manual. But if you want the actual Q code, it's near the back somewhere. There it is. Cut the pages from the back. About 4. Alright? With that, if you found this video informative and helpful, let me know in the comments whether you did or not. And if you're thinking about buying one, or you just bought one, again, or even if you still got it, or you bought it ages ago, again, let me know in the comments. It'd be interesting to find out who's interested in something like this from INKBIRD, and whether you like it or not. And if you did like this video and you found it helpful, then consider subscribing, consider giving me the thumbs up, and, you know, consider making a comment. All will be appreciated very much. Like I said, I think it's an excellent piece of kit. It's not too expensive. It's got a nice weight to it. It's quite sticky as well, and it's very clear to read. So with that, thank you very much for watching.